When this year's King of the Streets is over with, we are going to have two winners, one which has won already and another that's going to win the race. One we're going to remember until the next person wins the race. The other one we're going to remember for maybe a couple years to come. I'm talking about the team associated DR10M. I'm Chad. This is the Dorky M40 RC channel, and we are going to make you faster today. So this is it, guys. The team associated DR10M, they announced it yesterday during the qualifying runs of the King of the Streets. I made a post on it on the YouTube channel. A lot of people thought that it was an April Fool's joke, but as you can see, this is a real deal, and it's a very, very big deal. This kit, in my opinion, could be my main car. It really is going to check all the boxes. The amazing support that is going to come out for this car is just going to be, well, it's going to be epic. I feel it's really going to turn the page with Nprc. It's going to allow people to get into this hobby at a cheaper price, more available parts, hopefully. Crossing my fingers, because when the original DR10 came out, you could not get them at all. So hopefully they've got supply chain in line, but that's another topic. Let's take a look at this car in depth right now and why it's probably going to be your car, why I have pre-ordered it. Let's do it. Okay, DR10M. M is standing obviously for mid-motor. If you don't know the whole difference, DR10 / the motors, of course, are at the back of the car. Most of the high-end drag cars that we buy or build are a mid-motor type of car, which moves it on to the actual frame with a lay down transmission and the motor, so it kind of helps balance things out and kind of messes around with like weight transfer, allows you to like wheelie a little bit less, just for layman's terms for a lot of you beginners out there. Now take a look here at everything on the car. We're going to go over this thing really in depth and all that kind of good stuff. Now this is just a kit. All that means is that you're going to still need to buy everything like your electronics, your body, tires, all of that kind of stuff. You are going to get the actual stuff to build the actual car itself. If you look down here in the corner right there, you can see that I built my DR10 out of a kit as well. Since we do the advanced drag cars, you know, I run the 5-star chassis up there. Right there is the B6.3 buggy kit. So in order to get my outlaw drag car, I take the B6.3 kit, and then you take your 5-star kit and you put them together. Or you buy a complete kit such as a GFRP Apollo, who makes every single part that goes on that car. Some will argue that's a good thing, some will argue that's a bad thing. One thing we cannot argue about, it is an expensive thing. This right here is $380 for this kit. Everything you need in the box, of course, minus your electronics and all that stuff. So you could put the best electronics into this that you want, and you are still going to come in cheaper than you are if you were to build a full blown out drag car, significantly cheap. And when we look at these parts individually, we can see that it's definitely a lot of B6.3 parts, which means that there's factory team and a lot of awesome aftermarket support stuff already out there for this car. So there's a lot of stuff we can go through and read about here where it talks about the mid-motor and everything like that. I'm not going to bore all of you guys with that. I really just want to look at everything that we were getting. And I found this awesome sheet here that shows exactly what is going on with the team kit. I've been looking for the manuals. They don't have any manuals up of it yet. Obviously, they are about a month and a half, probably 2 months away from a full launch. It says mid-May, so we'll probably be getting more information as we go. But take a look right off the bat. What you're going to see here first is a full carbon fiber chassis. It's a twin deck design. Doesn't say how thick the carbon fiber is or anything like that. It's obviously built long for a stick pack, but with the Velcro strap slots, there's definitely going to be ways to like modify this to hold the bigger drag packs that we use. You can always turn those around. I actually do that in my 5-star chassis, so no big deal. So mid-motor design, you can see right here exactly what they're talking about. Traction control, weight distribution. The shocks, these here are the exact B6.3 shocks as far as I can tell. They might have stripped back a little bit of the accessories that you get with them, but they're threaded. You're able to adjust them, which means that you're going to be able to balance out the car way easier and everything. And then what I like to do with those, of course, really cheap upgrade, get some J concepts, aluminum caps to put on top. They also sell aluminum shock bottoms. You can build this thing perfect. We can just start tricking this thing out. But let's get back here and take a look at some more stuff. Now, machined aluminum rear suspension mounts, a total Metal Gear transmission with their reinforced top shaft that they sell, a new optimized thick, stiff rear anti-roll bar, which is obviously going to help us with our initial grip, machined aluminum rear bulkheads to go along with a 4mm thick rear carbon fiber shock tower, an actual real wheelie bar. Did I say that right? We can easily modify this to take the foam wheels that we got, the Traxxas wheels, everything completely adjustable. There, you can really get in close on that and you can see, but here's just all of the actual stuff. Again, we don't want to bore you here talking about all the thing. The key to this thing is just going to be that it's going to be totally adjustable and we are going to be able to do whatever we want to this car. So let's start taking a look at some of the pictures here. So I just love looking at this stuff and speculating and everything. So here's our beauty shot. Obviously we've got the entire car. We're looking at the front end here. It's got wide body post mounts on the front and the back. So check that off the box. You don't have to go out and purchase anything aftermarket, even though I'm sure there probably would be a better way to do it. Maybe stiffen things up a little bit. We'll have to see how this is. The only thing that I see that we're probably still going to need on the front is some kind of weight, a little bit of weight. But it looks like they're going to be giving us a nice flat platform to work with there so we can actually mount some weights to it. Hopefully it's a very thick and nice injection molded piece. If it's made out of the new plastics that has been shipping with like the B63s and a lot of the newer associated stuff, then we are golden. They even sell factory team updates with carbon fiber infused into that plastic, which I believe leads to about a 10 to 12% weight reduction and also increased strength and durability. Can't beat that, right? We've got a long shot of the car here. Nothing really special there other than from the first picture. And then we take a look at the front. We can see the front that we're still not getting carbon fiber up front, which is fine, but we don't have anything here. It's going to be hard to see with the kick-up plate. I've been looking at these front arms, trying to determine on whether or not these are DR10 or B6 arms. I'm leaning more towards B6 arms, I guess, because I'm hoping, and just kind of looking at the pieces and stuff here, this kind of makes me a little sad because I think this front end stuff is DR10, but I'm not 100% sure. Now the rear end is a whole different story, so we'll get to that. Shot again of the front end here, you can see more injection molded pieces, and that plastic does look like that gray stuff there. You can kind of see the difference between the plastic up here where the actual top of the bulkhead versus this right here, unless I'm actually seeing things, even with the sunglasses on. This might be a different mix up here than this right here, whatever. You know, we'll be obviously throwing in metal if we want to, all that kind of stuff. All your bearings and stuff are in there. That looks super great. Now let's go and start taking a look here at the rear end. And this is when things get pretty cool and pretty crazy. First of all, the fan mount with the fans. Some people don't run it. I think we need fans. You know, I kept a big portable fan blowing on my motor and I see everybody else doing it at races. So having an easy way to mount a fan to your car, you know, it's an added little bit of weight. Sometimes you'll want it, sometimes you won't. You can see on this motor right here, the way that it's sticking out with the sensor wire. It kind of looks like the motor is, the motor in the different way? Yeah, it is. The motor is actually coming in from the opposite side that they normally do. That's odd. But you can see we've got lots of machined pieces here. We've got carbon fiber. This is basically kind of what they call in the buggy world as like your waterfall bracing. So that way you tie the chassis into the rear end. You get a little bit of flex. You get like, you know, some stiffness, all that kind of stuff all in one. Now they've got the ESC tray here kind of. It's like recessed down in between these two plates. So obviously that's not going to work for a castle system like me because my castle is like literally half the size of any frame really. But if we look at the back here, here's another shot. They're making a big deal about putting the Octalock slipper system on here. Of course, I've gotten rid of that. You probably will too. We'll all be running slipper eliminators, but it's nice to have upgraded to it because the V2 slipper system was pretty weak upgrade. The Octalock works so much better. It's way easier to get your slipper pads in there. And if you don't want to run a slipper eliminator, you can always get like the Brood RC carbon fiber pads for the Octalock that works good. And of course, this looks like it is completely adjustable. So as you raise the rear end or lower based on your ride height and what you're doing with your car, it looks like you are going to have some options to still be able to keep everything tied in instead of being stuck to one actual distance like I am actually right now with my chassis. At least I'm thinking that's the way that's going to work. I can only imagine that's why it's like that. More beauty shots on top. Here you can see the laydown transmission, which we know is going to be just stuffed full of complete metal gears, which is going to be awesome. Don't have to worry about that. The shock tower, rest of the metal bulkhead right here. We've got a ton of adjustments on the 4mm rear carbon fiber shock tower. Again, the threaded shocks for their V2 big bore shocks. It looks like they are coming with the chrome shafts, which work fine. If you want to upgrade to the tin or whatever, you know, you can always do that as well. There's just so much stuff that we are going to be able to do to this if this stuff really comes in on the B63 platform. So speaking of that, I can get some good shots here of the wings, the gull wing, rear arms. That's what I'm looking for. The adjustments and everything. It looks like they're running like a 66mm CVA, which is a little bit of a weird size. I think most of them are like 67 or 69. Here we are looking at the front. Again, this looks kind of like DR10 stuff to me, which would be great because I already have metal, so I would just swap out the plastic for the metal. But my buggy kit actually comes with like metal spacers in here and everything like that. Now, they just might not be including those for price savings. We really need to get the actual part or really have somebody just take a real look at these. You know, I'm just kind of looking at them offhand, making some judgment calls on what I have. So if we look at the rear end here, you can see again 66mm on the shaft. Now we've got all kinds of adjustments back here. You can see where our links are tying into the actual transmission. We're going to be able to probably put some ball stud spacers in there, move things up and down. The transmission is already elevated as well because we've got suspension blocks with pills inside there. So we're going to be able to put pills in there, it looks like, which means we'll be able to control squat, you know, different toe positions, everything like that. We can see the wheelie bar right here, just a real basic adjustment, no big deal. That I'm fine with that. And another look just here at the rear bulkhead and everything else. This is a really good shot here of everything that's going on in the rear end. So we can take a look again. We've got the body posts for mounting and everything up here. All the plastics and everything going to be coming with plastic hexes. We can obviously change all those out. Here are the actual arms again. Boy, it's so hard to tell that they're gull wing, but I can't imagine that they wouldn't use the B63 arms and find a way to just integrate them with these new plates here, which we just can only assume are going to have pills. It doesn't say, but we just got to assume that they're going to have them. We've got the metal transition here, which is going to be holding down the rear sway bar, which is nice. The one on the B63 kit is plastic and it's fine, but you do kind of like file it out a little bit so that way you get some nice movement with your roll bar. Big shot of the wheelie bar. Nothing really special going on here except for the fact that, hey, it is a carbon fiber ready to go wheelie bar, multiple wheel positions, all that kind of stuff. We'll be able to throw Traxxas wheels on there, whatever we want to do. So we're great right out of the box. And looking right here, typically this is where we would see our pill inserts. So I'm not seeing anything open, so I could be totally wrong on that. Or we might be able to actually throw those in there as an option part. So that is pretty exciting to look at and see. We'll just have to wait until things come out. And again, here in the front, we can take a look. And it's really hard to see right there. It looks like they just have like a hinge pin going through there. But I don't know, man. We will see what they got going on. But again, all the different adjustments and stuff. We've got some really long studs going on with that. I think that's the roll bar right there that's coming out. Hard to tell from this angle. Of course, there's the link right there. Dog bone. Got the out drives right here and some more shots of just how everything is kind of hooking together. So as you can tell, I am super excited about this. Why? I think it's going to be just great for the sport. The price is awesome. We have not seen really innovation at all for a couple years. We've had the DR10, then the Losi, the Traxxas. They've all been kind of rinse and repeat. Same thing. Let's just roll out a truck platform and make it fit no prep bodies and call it a day. Try to outspeed each other, outsmart each other with electronics and all that kind of stuff. This is the really first step where Associated is like, hey, if we can get people to race our buggy kits on a pro level, then why can't we make a no prep drag kit for people to race at a pro level? I heard that Schultz actually took the thing out, did a nice smooth run down the track with one pass, qualified with this thing at a 2.4. I think he's actually running this at the race. I'm not 100% sure. You know how I feel about that kind of stuff. But then on his second run, he ran like a 1.9 with this thing. So there you go. 1.9 with the right setup and the right electronics on a $380 kit, guys. It's not going to get any better than that. I can't wait to have more for you here on the channel. I'm going to reach out to him and Associated and try to get as much information as we can. It's about time that we start swinging some of our swag around here because we do it on YouTube like nobody else does. Thanks a lot for stopping by the channel today, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Peace.